Resistance happens when we really want to do something and we find ourselves unable to do it, which is different than I don't want to do something and I know I don't want to do something. Not that kind of resistance, but resistance happens when you really want to do something. You know it's something you should be doing. You know it's for you. And yet for some reason there's a resistance to move forward with it. And I used to find this with myself with lots of things that I have known I need to do. I know this is for me to do. I can feel it. I have the guidance. I know exactly that this is the place for me. And yet I still felt this huge resistance to move forward. And I sat with myself and I thought, well, what is this? And there's always like the fear of success and the fear of failure. And sometimes it's a mixture of both. And I realized that a lot of this is hinging on how much I value this. Like I'm putting everything on the line to do this, or what it felt like. Like so much of it had to turn out well, or I had to have the right expectation for it. Or really, it came down to, can I trust myself to handle what the end result was going to be, no matter what? Whether it failed, whether it was successful, whether it was a mixture of both. Was I equipped enough in my body, in my nervous system, in my mindset work to be able to handle whatever was going to come my way? And I think this is what happens when we all kind of get pushed to this place of kind of like we feel like we're up against a wall, we're in a rock and a hard place, we're kind of down on our luck. We're kind of put in this place sometimes where we tend to procrastinate and wait till we're at this tipping point where we're in survival mode and we're pushed to go do the thing, and the resistance has to fade away because we don't have time for it anymore. And I wanted to talk about this before we get to that place, before we have to feel like we're up against a wall and we're hitting in this survival mode. Sometimes we just need to have that happen so that it pushes us, right? That's why we like countdown clocks. That's why we like sales. That's why we need that push to go forward. And I think that if we can understand that resistance and that how much it means to us, how much value it has for us in our life, how much it's actually going to change us, it's going to help us reframe what that resistance is and move through it. There's that saying, the obstacle is the way, and to just really move through it. And I always used to get a little bothered by the phrase, punch fear in the face and move forward with it. I hear that as I'm going to take this one emotion and I'm going to convert it into something else. I'm going to take this fear, which is like borderline on the end side of anticipation, and I'm going to put it into some sort of rage, which is fuel. It's a fiery energy, and I'm going to direct it towards the thing that I want. So if I can articulate that and understand that, then really the hesitation is, I'm kind of stalling out, I'm hesitating, and I need the momentum actually to go forward with it. Every time we stall out, we're losing momentum and action that can take place and move us forward. And knowing that we're not going to know everything that's going to happen. And as the end result, nothing's ever guaranteed. It's just moving through it. The biggest part of resistance that I have come to understand is that it's your dream, it's your passion, it's what you want. And it didn't make sense that if it's something that I deeply desire and absolutely can see myself doing and love, why would I ever be resistant to it? There's nothing that it just didn't make sense. And so I think it's the fact that there's so much on the line and I want it so bad that it's almost difficult to have the reality check of, once I start taking action on it, it's going to shift, it's going to change, the reality is going to set in, it's going to become something other. More people are going to get involved. I'm not going to know when I do something, how it's going to actually have a ripple effect or not. and I can't control it or hold it in kind of this incubation area anymore. I have to release it out into the world. And it may have multiple effects down the road. It may have effects where in the beginning it doesn't do much, but then down the road it does. And then I start to realize that that resistance is just a sign to tell me how much this actually means to me, and that I need to do it even more, and that it becomes a really clear sign that the only way to move forward is through the resistance. Obstacles are easy to solve. But when there feels like that invisible force that holds us back, it's like that devil and angel playing with you. It's that fear that grips you that just doesn't make any sense. It's an illusion. It doesn't feel valuable. It doesn't feel like it's validated. It's nonsensical, but it grips you and you feel it and it's real and it'll drop you to your knees. So if I can reframe that and believe and know that this has so much importance in my life, can I hold this? Can I know that it's more important for me to do and take action on it than not? And that the fear is just a shield, a way to protect. But what am I being protected from? A life that I really, really want, a goal that I really want to attain, a new standard of living that I really want to have. And so the fear actually hinders me from moving forward. The hesitation hinders me from moving forward. And this is nuanced and contextual. It depends on what the reservations are and the resistance is. If it's you knowing that you have everything in front of you to just go do the thing and you're resistant to it, this is what I'm talking about. If there's stuff that you need to understand a little bit beforehand, then go learn that stuff, go study that stuff, go inquire what that is to the best of your knowledge. But there will be a point in time where you're not going to know. There is no guarantee. You can hope for the best, but you have to have faith that you can handle everything that comes your way as you move forward with it, because it means a lot. And it's, to me, the signal that that is exactly what you should be doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the resistance to do it. It would be really easy to do, which that's great too. And those are fun. And I think once you get into the momentum of doing the thing, the resistance fades away because it's always that initial beginning and that initial start to go try something different and get out of your comfort zone. So know that resistance is a signal that you're on the right path. When it is a resistance to something that you know you should be doing, you've been given the insight, and it's something that you would love to do. And that it's just that kind of seal that you have to break through. It's like you have to just open that door to go do it. And if there's still resistance and it's invisible, you just have to trust and work on the mindset and the energetics, the emotional assessment that it doesn't matter, or whatever comes your way, that you trust yourself to handle it, to move through it as best you can. And you learn. Good, bad, or indifferent, you will learn. And then you do it again. Like anybody picking up an instrument for the first time, it's always going to feel a little awkward. Anybody doing anything on a grand scale is always going to feel a little awkward. But with practice, it gets better. So just know that you're on the right path. You're on the right path if you feel that resistance, and to keep going and to keep going and to keep going. And just say those words to yourself over and over again. You have this, you got this, and just slide past the resistance as if it was looking the other way. Thank you for being here. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.